no vea, a Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la bien de regla.
It is Friday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. And yes, we're doing this. We are going for the Sacred Shard 10x chance on Losan LETH, who is the Knight Revenant Faction Unity Legendary Champion. So how good is Losan LETH? The answer is, I actually don't know because I haven't seen anyone with him yet, but I think part of the reason why I want him more so than many of the others, obviously excluding Legate Teox, who I actually got off a literal 1% chance, is if you've known myself, then anytime that I'm not using White Queen Ankara and White King Narcissus in live arena or PvP in general, I am completely handless. So why not go for a Knight Revenant's faction unity to go with him, right? And sure, most people are saying, okay, use him with Night Queen Crixia. I don't have her. But there is another Knight Revenant mythical, and yeah, we do all get him eventually because there are fragments from Chimera, and you can get anywhere from 1 to 8 of them a week depending on your Chimera performance and also your luck. So obviously we've got quite a lot of Sacreds. We've stayed up for a while. None of those no dry January or whatever it's called. This is just us not pulling for absolutely ages. So there is a champion chase tournament to go with this, which has rewards, and behold, rewards. It includes some materials that are used for crafting relics to do with Alice's adventure, and then the usual. Now, same as the last few times we've done this, we are going to be picking out, so to speak. So we'll either go until we get Losan LETH, or we'll just go until we're at 10,000. And when that champion chase tournament, that is 250 in epic or 500 at legendary. So at the very most, that's going to be 37 sacreds, is it? But yeah. Also, in terms of this, reality check, 12% chance legendary, 10x there. This gives you about a 4% chance of getting Losan LETH out of any legendary in the game that is available in the pool. There's quite a lot that aren't. There's no way reading all of this. And yeah, without wasting much more of your time, let's get started, shall we? And yeah, I will review every epic I get really quickly for the newer players. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Right. Okay, so legendary to start with. Looking the Steadfast, he's used as a mix of a healer. He can lock out on a 4-turn cooldown and defends your team. He's not the most exciting, but he's better than a epic, so yeah. Also, he's a bit serviceable for Scarab as well, due to the fact that his A1 has a self-shield. Bushi got buffed a while ago. He's still not particularly exciting. Apparently there's some cheese method where he just never dies if you can keep this going, but he's not going to be your first choice for many areas in the game. Another legendary, Gothford Brassclad. This is new for me. Now, his main thing is he will defend the first champion in a team who is killed, blocks the hit, stuns the attacker, but apart from that, he can self-buff his defense, give it to your team, AoE stun on a 3-turn cooldown, and a double hit to that can place decreased defense and provoke. Not a bad champion at all. Has very niche use against things like Georgid or any other big single hitters, which will get stopped by him entirely. Yeah, pretty good. Continuing on. Alika, super underrated epic. Has a lockout effect and a 3-turn cooldown. This can hit really hard against bosses, and means between Crushing Rend, Blessing, and Helm Smasher, she doesn't even need lethal, And this can hit decently hard as well, but she doesn't require a lot of bucks, but later on in the game, then you are going to have plenty of epic bucks in the first place. So yeah, she's definitely in the upper 10% of epics in the game. Next is Spider. His only real area, I'd say, is Stage 8 Soul Cross, where you only have to use Dark Elf's red epic support alongside a few others. Or you can use him to empower Krakow, who is that one Doomtower epic, but I think you're better off empowering Spider instead, honestly. Another legendary, Gameran. Gameran got buffed very recently. This, instead of stealing one buff, now steals all of them, then spreads everything that he has. And the only thing I note is that this cannot spread Stone Skin, etc. And apart from that, he's got some utility elements and... Oh, this is new. I was reading that, yeah. But he got buffed. I still think he's overall worse than support Sun Wukong in terms of this role. But apart from that, I think he's at least serviceable now. My Celiac Priest Ornn, he got nerfed pre-release because he was able to solo Dragon, etc. with poisons and regeneration set. They keep doing that anytime Epics can do it for some reason. I don't know why. Dragon's not the most elite content in the game. I also had to use him for Soulcross Iron Twins at some point, but he's not that exciting post-nerf because nothing he does is very reliable. Hope, pretty old epic, doesn't do a whole lot, and all of this is pretty unreliable, and yeah. She's HP and not attack, but despite that, her skills do scale off. Okay, so you know how I said before how Alika hits really hard? Well, here's Phoenix. He's the hardest hitting epic in the game in terms of regular damage, not max HP damage. This can hit twice with permadeath, and this skill doesn't exist. And he can place block buffs, although it's an 85% chance. Anyway, this is my 5th Phoenix now, so now I can +4 him. So expect a bit more to do with him in the future. But yeah. Anyway, better than the other epics I could have possibly seen. Okay. Duke the Pierced. He's a blue affinity Stagger Knight in high places. Decreased attack and decreased defense on the same skill, guaranteed as long as it crits. And he can provoke, and he does have this, but overall, you're using him mainly for this skill. Also, he is based on defense, so yeah. Also, really cool skins to him, and he's actually got a story to him as well. I mean, I'm not going to make you read it all of it now, but yeah, they've assigned lore to a lot of the more popular epics nowadays, and his is kind of interesting. Okay. Jingle Hunter, very old epic, back from 2018 Christmas, I think. You won't use him nowadays. Okay. You go. Okay. Yeah, it turns out we're getting all the really good epics for some reason. So, AoE decreased defense and block buffs on the same skill, and these both happen after the on hit, or at least what block buffs does. So, don't worry about affinity for this one. Cleanse and heal, and this really conditional revive. But yeah, this is one of the epics that I am still using twice every week in terms of Hydra, and so should you. Really, she's a great epic. Okay, Ultimate Gaelic. He was given out for free a long while ago. I can see why. I personally hate him because everything he does in terms of HP burn is not guaranteed at all. Like, sure, he has this anti-stun, but I have a burning hatred of this guy for how many times he has let me down early game when I had no better options. I don't like him. Okay. Tagoa, okay. Good and defensive support, revives your team, heals your team, increased speed, bit of DR, bit of increased defense. Yeah, in terms of Orc epic support, you can't really do better than him. Well, Orc defensive support, but you get the idea. Lady Annabelle, her main use, apart from these effects, is that she's used for soloing Dreadhorn in Regeneration set, where she just kills it very, very slowly and sustains everything. Because her passive, this applies to when Dread Bombs blow themselves up, so it's actually very hard for Dreadhorn to kill her, assuming that she's not being gear checked. But obviously nowadays we have much faster options in terms of defeating that boss. Okay, Legendary, Iron Brago, previous fusion. So, places increased defense on the entire team on a 3-turn cooldown, so this has always got enough time. This, which isn't a reliable provoke for some reason, and then his passive, which grants a portion of his defense to the entire team, but due to Plarium coding, this is only for champions past him in the turn order. He does have very high multipliers, but he doesn't actually ignore defense or anything like that, so he's unsuitable as a defense-based arena nuker in that regard. Also, I believe that's either my third or my fourth one, so... Catacomb Canceller, he has this relatively weak ally attack effect. There are much better options in the game now. Like, nowadays there's so many of these in the game. Okay. Siege Hulk, absolutely massive epic. Not massive as a pull, but yeah, this guy is huge. He does have self-increased attack, then decreased defense on their entire team, 100% chance, but his main use, again, is Curse City for that one Soul Cross stage where you're only allowed to use blue attack epics from Ogren tribes alongside others. But keep him around because you may need him for that. Okay. Soul Drinker, reskinned Mortu Macabre. He can place bombs and decrease the cooldown on them, but there are many other better bomb champions in the game. Also, this checks accuracy, can be cleansed, etc. He looks really cool, but that's about as far as we're going with him. Good concept, not brilliant execution. Mordecai, great for Spider. HP burn and everything. Doesn't place a hit, so against Nether Spider, he's not going to counterattack. But past that, he doesn't do a whole lot, so it is just this. So try and boost up his speed, accuracy, durability stats, etc. to cycle through his A3 as often as you can, because it's not 100% uptime. Doom Priest, walking passive, cleanses your team, heals your team every turn, puts her in Relentless set, and she'll keep taking turns, keep cleansing you, etc. Great for a lot of people who are starting out. You're not going to be unhappy about her at all. Sepulchre Sentinel, early used for Clan Boss because increased defense and block debuffs, and this which can half the time block a single hit. So Demon Lord tries to use the single target stun. Nope, her passive stops it. Also, decreased attack on the A1 as well. So yeah, she's great for Demon Lord progression. Again, like many of us, I used her very frequently at the starts. Cornelia, a bit of a weird one. She does have this way to keep either sleeping herself or someone else and full healing them. This switch is a AoE sleep on a 3-turn cooldown that doesn't place a hit, and then she has partial lockout as well. Along with the fact that she's got a speed aura and some other... Wait, what's happening with her? It's never mind. I got confused with the I thought this was a passive. It's just an effect on that. But yeah, I've seen that she has niche use in terms of cheesing bosses who can't one-shot her from just full healing over and over. Okay, Royal Guard. So yeah, we are hitting all the good epics today for some reason. Back in the day, he was a superstar for this AoE that skilled off any max HP, would hit them so hard. But nowadays, bosses are capped to 10% of max HP on hit, so he's fallen off a bit. However, he has got this 4 hit that can place decreased speed, also cut their turn meter, can also place decreased defense. It says he's an attack champion, don't build an attack on him. HP instead. Otherwise, crit rate, crit damage speed, accuracy if you need it. But yeah, you'll still use him nowadays because it's hard to say no to a max HP AoE. Okay, Deacon. Right, so yeah, we are hitting all the good epics. So he was impressed a lot of people. So speeds up your team, slows down theirs, extra turn, decreased defense on the entire team, speed aura, double hit with leech. So he's great even for finite progression because of his double hit and how much he's going to boost your team. So yeah, another really good epic, like a smaller Sandra who doesn't require legendary books. Okay, so yeah, Stagnite. I mentioned him before. Increased defense, increased attack of the same skill, 3 turn cooldown, really high stats for support. This goes up to 107 speed, and then double hit, decreased speed of A1, hits deceptively hard. I think it's like an 8x attack multiplier. So yeah, he's again really good. If you get to him early on, then yeah, keep him around. Okay, Kalia. She got buffed once. I think they had to buff her again because this is still pretty weak, and yeah. Supposed to pair with at her. I don't think you should pair her with anyone at all. I think you should pair her with a Vault. Okay. Magnar, HP nuker in the epic slot. It says HP burn. You don't actually want HP burn with him because then this double hits. Although you can actually use him with HP burn and just spread debuffs around, increase the duration. Also has a decreased defense as well. I would have thought that with Epic Empowerment he'd have seen a bit of use, but we just got some better options that yeah, we didn't really need him. Either way, I did kind of like him. Legendary. Okay. It is Calvalax. He is used for places a bunch of poisons on the enemy team at the start of the round. I'll be honest, past that his skill set is not that exciting, but you can use him with Legate Teox because it'll put a whole bunch of poisons on them. Teox gets an absolute ton of turn meter, and then he hits them both, kills everything, and yeah. Also, I believe that's my Faction Guardians finish now for Night Revenants. No, it's not. Nowhere near. What am I even saying? Tell you what, I'll just put these in here for time being then. Okay, well, that is my Bannerlords finished, and who was the other legendary that I got? Well, they're both new, weren't they? I don't remember. Who was it for? Oh, Iron Brago. Oh, that's my 4th Iron Brago. Okay, well, there's like about 10% more defense now. And I'll check how much I am through the champion chase because I don't want to overburn in that regard because that's just wasting sacreds of fun. Okay, so we're at 8,500, I believe. So we are doing 6 more sacreds, or less than that if we get more legendaries. So legendaries haven't been too exciting, but we have got a lot of copies of a great epic. So if you were early game by myself, then you would definitely appreciate those. Okay. Who was this? I haven't seen her before. Okay, so 8 Tower Pies, I guess. Increased defense and reflect damage. I guess she's meant to be. I don't know. I don't actually know where I meant to use her. Okay. Okay, let's go again. I checked for when they're in. Again, mostly for Curse City, but other than that, can I either freeze enemies or put HP burn on them on a 3 turn cooldown, depending on the stats. Although, if you cut their defense or their attack, you can manipulate this so that you're actually freezing or burning champions who would otherwise be the opposite, and can support your team in some way, although this turn high cooldown it needs to be, and then this A1 which requires 8 more books than it's ever worth. Bit of healing, turn meter, etc. Not bad at all. I just personally haven't got around to using her. Okay, Lufia, very, very old epic. Burning Arrow. It doesn't burn. It places poison. Okay. Misleading skill descriptions. Again, very unreliable freeze. this on a 4-turn cooldown, yeah, you're not going to use her. I think we have to do 3 more now, don't we? Okay. Crimson Helm, very slow. I believe she was, again, like Lady Annabelle was used for Dreadhorn soloing, but yeah, you probably have better options halfway through building her. 2 more. Gizcard the Sigilled. Another one was Epix, who was nerfed pre-release, because this would give much more turn meter every time someone attacked him, and he could solo Ice Golem, was it? Something like that. I don't know. I think he would have been fine, but they're just definitely afraid of Epix actually doing anything one way or the other. Right, and this is our last one, and Allure. Wow, it's Allure from Arcane. Not Arcane. Call of the Arbiter, you know, same thing, right? So, mainly used for the A3, which is really good for turn meter control. With full crit, she cut turn meter by 75%, or half that against bosses with Almighty Persistence, and the rest of her goes pretty widely unused. Although this is actually decent enough if you're trying to do Soul Cost 20, you need a big single target hit, because sure, it's on a 6-turn cooldown, but it almost 50% defense and hits decently hard, so yeah. But yeah, and not still be using her for finite progression, fewer things like that. Okay, so that is our Sacred Shard collection cut in half. Did we get Kozen KLF? No, we did not. Are we surprised? No, because we... what do you like now? Like 4% chance, and yeah. So, legendary rate was... how many did we get again now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it averages 1 every 7 or 8 Sacred Shards. We pulled 35 Sacreds. So, yeah, that's pretty much on rate. And a lot of these epics I can actually use in terms of empowerments, but yeah, so obviously there'll be other times where you can get him. There'll be a Prism Shard event if you're really that desperate. I'm not, so I'll just call it as it is what it is. But yeah, that has been a Sacred Shard pulling session, and if you got him, did you? Let me have a go of him. You know where I am. And yeah, I'll let you go, so see ya.